How y'all doing? This is Devorjae. This is TRU7. And on this episode, this is kind of the baseline reading discussion about how important the science is, and basically about hair, history, and disinformation on that. A good way to start on is I'm gonna start just by asking you, what do you think hair is for? What have you heard about hair? And probably you're watching this video because you don't know, you want to get more information on hair, because obviously there's more deeper things in hair. And honestly, if you notice from the major three to four, I guess, main heritages or races, you notice that there's probably really 3 or 4 different types of hair texture. And this goes into something called melatonin and melanin. And if you don't know what those are, the most simplest terms to put it in is within your genetic makeup, there is a certain ingredient, molecule, DNA, that creates a higher density and more to withstand the plane that it's on. It's kind of like a car is being created, it's being made, it's being molded by something. A car. I always speak like your body's a vehicle. A car is being molded and melded, but there are roads. No matter what, a car has to drive on what has been laid down and put down as a road. So, due to it being on the road, it will have to have characteristics that will be there for it can withstand the road for a while, and times until it needs to be recuperated, fixed out, or whatever. And only due to the way that you use the vehicle shows the wear and tear on it, which goes into a whole bunch of things, history-wise. So I guess that's the analogy I want y'all to get with even the reasons, a more interpretive reason why hair is relevant. So hope y'all hear me. Hair, basically, I guess I get in the mood when I'm straight telling you, like, sure, this is what it is, this is what it is, this is what it is. So I'm talking very slow and gradually doing it. But hair, these are antennas, and everyone has them. And the reason being, quickly to sum it all up, why textures of different heritages are different. This goes into the melanin thing I was speaking about. The deeper and more historic the being itself, the manifestation, the more melanin built up within it, the more dense on the outskirts they will become, which is why you will see more melanated beings, more darker toned skinned people, or use more muscle mass, get longer, thicker hair. And this goes into the scientific fact, the mitochondrial human body, what we're living in, the state of being right now, from all the genetic mixes and everything, through that, all the genetic mixes of beings that have gotten us to how we are now. Within all those being sets, the lineages, the DNA, and with the more historic and in-depth beings within the universe and galaxy in this sector, that's carried along still to this day through that being, and that's where your lineage goes super far back, even though through all the manipulation and binding for your vehicle. Because, and when I keep saying that, you have to understand, this is the best way for you to understand. I'm going to say, it's at the point where they're building cars and they have trackers in it. So you have to look at it in the same way. Everybody has been molded and created for this plane, just as the car has been molded for roads and different types of roads, but a road in itself in the world. But the businesses who they have contracts with, who the makers of the vehicle, can have trackers, and only because of the makers of the vehicle under one whole government system. And I'm going to go into pyramid systems and then natural system within that in a couple minutes. It goes into But then those corporations being under a whole system, they can keep tracks on cars. So if you, it's going to get to the point people are trying to escape out of the country with the car. That's like, oh, we know where the car is, have a tracker. And unless people are smart enough to above that and figure out the game, that's what life is about, and manipulate it to how they want it. So, and get the tracker out so they can't be tracked. But it's getting to that point. That's the analogy with that. But more back, your hair is scientifically, they I'm pretty sure people heard like your nails and your hair, all the things that affect your nervous system, and that goes into I'll tap on the nervous system, how your nervous system goes throughout, and your nervous system is basically like the nerves connected everywhere in your body that allow you to feel things externally and internally, and they're connected obviously to your lymph node system, but your nails in here, they say that they're dead, but they're not dead. They grow. It's not dead. None of it is dead. Either there's no such thing as death. It's part of you, and it's growing. It's a future grow. And there's so many, and so I'll go more in depth in detail on another video about just the details of even when it gets down to naturally growing color of your hair, the pattern of it, your nails, when you have moles popping on your nails, all that stuff has meaning. I don't want to get too far on that. I'm going to stay on the hair topic. When you look at, if you want to look religiously at all texts and Bibles, if you look at anything, it's common sense, and even for the images they put in your head of God, when you think of wisdom, you think of elder, you think of old, you think of long hair, beards, and all that, and that shows wisdom, which is very much true. Because hair, just like water, and it takes water for everything to grow. Because man, these are, you have roots. Your earthly being, and grows out of earth are trees, and this is within everything. Something always sprouts within the flower. So within you being a conscious being, things sprout from you, hair under your arms, everywhere, and these things have many different purposes. This is everything, and the fact that when it comes to anyone's hair can lock, and that's the cool thing. Whether if it is molded, nurtured by hand, or if it's natural, as my hair is just by God's elements to come out this way. But then we have a lot of melatonin, but candle over. But when you think about all these more elderly things, these more wisdomatic things, these godly things, it's the imagery of long hair, beards, and even in the Bible, this cult literature and control mechanisms within the blueprint book, the Bible. So it's just like at the end, I think it's in Deuteronomy or Revelations or in the New Testament, they preach how they shouldn't have their hair long. But if you go to the Islamic, it's more spiritual, more historical, even religious. Their men know about what that means, having long hair, and all they understand all the stuff that I'm teaching you right now. They understand it, so that's why you see Arabs. They have beards, they have long hair, and they understand the wisdom in it, and it shows the wisdom and the knowledge that you gained for years from having that hair. And the story of is it Samson? I can't remember. So much knowledge in my head. I think Samson, his story is all about melanated creatures and hair and power, because it's an energy. This is no more. So you have all this energy within your aura. You have a whole bunch of it. You build it, and all the information, the things that you're gathering as you're going through your life path, packs in. It even goes into your hair. And if it's pure, if it's good, if it's being taken up even nurtural wise, and only taking in the elements of fire from the sun, water from when you're showering from the earth, your hair is already the earth, and the wind that sways it and gets it to twisting and binding into how it is, all the elements being worked on yourself. If all that's happening, it's going to come out healthy, it's going to be good, it's going to grow healthy because your body should. So it's it's fairly easy knowledge to get. And for someone who probably isn't living the best or maybe a low frequency lifestyle, hair falls out, and many things could go into it. just show display on the outside your energetic fields of what's going on in your life and what's being put in and what's being put out. And then another, before I end it and I start maybe a second video on it to get more details, this is really good. There's so much that I can teach you about hair. Probably would encourage a lot of people to start growing their hair out. So they know what it represents. The lock, the dread lock versus whole lock. So if these are free form, and there's many ways you can dread your hair. But let me ask you, I was talking about the pyramid systems. Understand pyramids are man-made and are made. Mankind-made or man-made, but they're made from a conscious, aware being. A pyramid is. So that's when it comes to systems and material living, this side, material living systems, the pyramid system. That's what everything is. That's the Horus built within history a long, long time ago. That concept, it's just a concept, and that concept is such a minute level that's within a matrix paradigm that how you control things. We're using a pyramid system, just triangle, because life starts in threes. And if you're using a base system which life is built on, it's easy to have an uplifting system that always has something at the top that has an overseer. So to touch on a material, triangular, and pyramid system that y'all see on the dollar bill, that's all that represents that control. Creation and binding and moving how you want basically around the natural circuit, this side, the more natural circular energy, which is essentially goes into water is life and water grows roots, which is the tree of life, which is natural earth, and the tree is from a seed. So life is but those put into from duality, from energy that it takes to even make both of those, natural and material. And if you ever go to a pyramid or Aztec pyramid, any pyramid, you're going to see trees built around or within it. And if you know that your body is a temple, such as you probably learned in Christianity and all religious preaching, which is natural knowledge, and you apply that to this field, if you know your body is a temple, like I've already talked about how if your body's a temple, how markings are in your temple, but trees also grow in the temple and around the temple and have natural life in it because there are plants in it. You need natural life for the energetic flow, which is your body is a temple. Here is your roots and your hair grows, and it's power in it. And there's vibrations in it, and they're antennas. As I said, if you put your finger on the end of an auxiliary or your little radio, so you're tuning in, and you will find people with longer hair and more melanated beings. It's easier for them to tune in to a lot more frequencies because of the fact the melatonin. You have to think of it making the wire. It makes it thick and hard, so it's easy to, and it curls. Remember, so it's easy for signals to go through and curl down. Now you get into, but it took a process to even get to this one. Actually, it was at this point that has been fine and manipulated with many other beings and stuff. Because you look at Asians, they're melanated also. They're not super highly melanated as a darkest on me, but they're melanated, and their hair is different. They're most different from every other beings because there's still characteristics than Caucasian European hair stems that still match up more than Asian hair styles do. But it's pretty much a half and half in the genetic splits, but within Asian hair, theirs is very hard and long, and also soft. But there, at some point, their hair gets so long enough, it's in between that wave, it's still wavy and smooth, but to the point it's malleable to the point it can dread up just as ours does. Melanated, very melanated things does, and even there are some Caucasians, because there are some white people have less melatonin, but there are some that have high melatonin. They still have the white complexion. That their hair, even when you see it, and that's why I'm saying how hair is so important. You see it in their hair. There are white people with curly hair, and their hair curls so tight that it dreads. And that's just because of their natural being close to source, basically. All in all, to say it is, let's say no one's better than one's being closer to source. That's the best way to put it, that I can put it. And then redheads are a big one, because remember, there's a whole bunch of genetic splices and DNA mixtures for the human being as it is now. And redhead people, like they have a high melanin within their red hair, because to have a red polarity, that's a very high frequency. So when red hair people, they're just like us. They're always going to be big and buff, and they're always going to be able to heal. They're going to be able to take hits. They're going to be strong individuals, because that's just, man, it ties in so much with the branches, the tree of life, from where all forms of being come to. And like I said, the tree will always, the seed will always rise through a pyramid scale, which is the natural energy. And I think I touched on some real good points with here, but this has been 15 minutes. I'll try to keep them real low, jam pack a whole bunch of information for you, very quickly and understand and teach you. But this is TRU7, and I'll talk to y'all later. Be happy, be great, be light.